Are any home improvement projects tax deductible? Elliot.
At its base level, no. But if you happen to have a home office, or again, as we've been talking about here and there throughout the day, if you had administrative office because you have a C corporation or an S corporation, then any your home improvement projects, yes, they will be deductible in the sense that if it's directly related to the office, we're in a small room right here in the studio. If it was new carpet in here or the walls directly related to it, that's 100%. If it had to do with the whole house, you'll take a percentage of that expense based on how much area your office is taking of your whole house. So yes, in that case, otherwise typically not.
I will add one thing because you're absolutely right. If you're going to house hack and you're going to make it a rental property, just that room, right? We could allocate it over there. You're going to get a deduction for a portion of the house, like whatever percentage that it's being used. You're going to be able to depreciate. But if you did have some expenses that were attributed, I guess you wouldn't really isolate it out. You'd write off, let's say that you had one room, 10 by 15, that you were renting out in your house, and the rest of the house, you had 2,500 square feet. You're going to have a small portion of the house that you're depreciating, and you'd get a deduction kind of in an offhanded way. Somebody says, what about solar and heating energy improvements? You get it's really weird. You get the tax credit regardless. It's 30%. And then if it's being used for business, if this was a rental property, then you would subtract off half of the credit from the basis, and you could accelerate that depreciation with the proper 3115 election, and we'd write that whole puppy off again. So we'd get an 85% deduction, and we get a 30% tax credit. Like, start doing that math. I'll do it for you. You put $100,000 solar unit up. I know you guys are like, no, I never do that. Okay, let's say you have a little quadplex or something. I put $100,000 unit. I get a $30,000 tax credit, not a deduction, credit, $30,000 in my pocket. So, and then I would write off 85,000 because I'd take half the tax credit, 15,000, subtract it from the basis, 100,000. I have 85,000, and I would write that puppy off. Boom, just like that. So I'd get a $30,000 tax credit, $85,000 deduction for putting in a solar unit on a rental property, even if I financed it. Yeah, a lot of times they pay for themselves just through that. So like,
huge.
Yeah, so I'm always kind of shocked. I'm looking at solar going, until they get it to where somebody can't steal it or destroy it. I'm not necessarily putting it on the rental. But yeah, and if you put it on your personal home, you get the tax credit. You don't get the deduction because it's not investment property. So here's the deal. Personal property, you don't depreciate. Personal, like your personal home, I don't depreciate. Investment property, I depreciate. So if I have a home that has a portion of it that becomes investment property, I depreciate it. If I have an employer that is reimbursing a portion of my home, even if that's my own S Corp or my own C Corp, they are reimbursing me as though I was depreciating my house. They're reimbursing me that portion. That's how you get money out of your company, tax-free. It actually works like a charm. That's in our tax toolbox. We go over that during TAP, the tax and asset protection, but those ones are also great. If you have a home office, wouldn't you be able to add the home improvements to the basis? If you have a home office, the home improvements to the basis. Yeah, but you would use a portion of it for the home office. If, let's say that I had a home, sorry to talk over you, but let's just say that this place here was in a house, and it cost us $10,000 of improvement to make this usable for a business. I'm writing off 100% of that because it's 100% being used for the business, and I'm reimbursing myself that cost. Now, assume that I did $10,000 of improvement to the house. Let's say I put a new roof on it, and I'm using a room. Let's say it's a 3-bedroom, and I have a couple big rooms, so I call it a 5-bedroom house, and I could reimburse 20% of that cost from a business. Then I'm factoring in as though I'm depreciating that roof, and I'm getting to reimburse myself tax-free money. It's kind of bizarre, but that's how it works. So you could actually be getting Some cases it's $5,000, $6,000 a month from your, or excuse me, a year from your business. That's like, here, thank you for letting me use a home office. You don't report it on your 1040. It doesn't say home office. It's actually an administrative office in your home, or a home at the convenience of or an office at the convenience of an employer. It is literally reimbursing you from everything from the property taxes, mortgage interest, cleaner, your utilities. It's adding it all up. And we're giving you a check for whatever percentage, in that case, 20% if it's 1 out of 5 rooms. And you can only do that if you're an employee of an S Corp, C Corp, LLC, taxed as either or a nonprofit. It has to be a corporate entity. Then you can do things like that.
And it's a deduction to the business as well.
Huge deduction.
Yep.
It's a business deducts it,
You get
hands it
cash.
to you. So
Yep.
I'm just handing Elliot
It's a
cash.
win-win.
Where do you report that?
I don't.
Yep. And I
Vegas.
write it off.
I go down to the strip.
Yep. So that's how that works.
If you like this clip of Tax Tuesday, then I invite you to join the actual show. It's every other week, and you can ask your questions and get them answered live by myself and my team. Just click the link.